you know what an FYP is?
Yeah, For You page.
The For You page. Steak, do you have any gray on your beard?
No gray, but I'm just bald as shit.
No, I know. That's why I didn't ask about your head. But you have an actual beard. You didn't. That's not fake, is it?
No gray. It's not fake.
It was like the one time where I was like, dude, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this kid.
If you said transport me to anything in the world right now, I would transport to fucking 10 a.m. in Las Vegas at the Circus Sportsbook on football Sunday.
Fucking funny. I just can't even stop laughing. Fucking a minute and 6 seconds, dude. Minute and 6 seconds.
Yesterday. Now I'm not.
It's your chain.
Well,
I gave it to you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's
Actually, Steak's chain is a crazy thing to say.
okay. It's my chain.
That's like saying this is actually Sergio Ramos' jersey.
Check 1 2. Are we good? Let's see. What's up, Steak? Good morning. How are you? Wow, you got a nice trim on your beard.
Oh, yeah. Fresh, dude.
It looks good. What's going on? Are you still? Oh, you still have company. You have
That's
family
good.
staying over, so you're relocated.
Yep, I'm relocated, but I'm good, ready to go, fully locked in.
Has your hangover subsided, or are you a 2-day hangover guy?
No, I slept 10 hours,
Nice. What was your score?
92, but my readiness after Tampa, my readiness score was a 34. Yeah, dude. It basically said I was dead. It was like, if you don't do nothing today, you're going to die.
That's probably the lowest readiness score I think I've seen. I had 47 the other day after after Sunday when we went to the Mets game and then went drinking after. But okay, so you got back from Tampa yesterday. You shut down the engines. You slept 10 hours. You're ready to go. You're ready to roll. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, July 24th. I'm going to be heading down to Orlando actually after this. A little bit later this evening. Got some corp shit to take care of. I've got some things to do, Steak, but I don't know what your weekend or your next couple days of the week's looking like. But I'm a little TBD. We have a vet specialist appointment with our dog to check on things, not to get too TMI, and a family member's birthday. So I'm going to be in Orlando for a couple days. We'll see if we can rendezvous or whatnot. But if not, I'll see you for Pick It at the Park, August 9th. You're coming up in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. Very much looking forward to it. Do you have the pair of shorts picked out that you're going to wear?
No.
Okay, that was a joke. If you were to say
I'm gonna wait to see what the weather's like. I may wear pants. I'm also not gonna update you on my wardrobe choice. I'm just gonna surprise you the day of.
I don't want to hear this fucking. I'm not going to tell you about my wardrobe. Every time I go out with you and your boys, you guys all dress the same.
Yeah, I understand, but hey, listen, you used to make fun of me for wearing shorts too much. Now you make fun of me for wearing pants too much. So
I'm not. First of all, I'm not making fun of you. If you wear pants, it's going to be fine. I'm forewarning you. It's hot. It's just going to be hot.
I live here in Florida. Nothing's hot to me.
Okay.
I went to Denver for the last week, and my sister's like, "It's so hot here." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not fucking hot here."
Who fucking warns you about the heat in Denver, though?
You're warning me about the heat in New York.
That's a real thing. That New York in the summer is hot. Okay.
I do.
All right. Fine. Sweat your fucking nuts off for all I care. Wear a Taj jersey. Yeah. Are you helping Taj move? Listen, nothing but a Speedo in Yankee Stadium sounds sure is nice. That's true. Good morning, Bucknut. Look who's back. Morning, Jake and Michael. Listen, just get ahead of it. All right. Let's just get ahead of it. Yesterday, we did Pick It Happy Hour. I don't really even know how to start this whole thing. Steak, did you tune? You were in for Happy Hour for a little bit. We had Snowman on. Yep. Snowman was great. Thank you to Snowman for filling in. Steak had a 32 readiness score. We'll talk about his experience at Steinbrenner. I'm curious to hear about it. The race season is probably just about over after that loss to the White Sox, and I don't really think I'm being dramatic. Ryan, really reckless with a sub bank. Appreciate you, Ryan. Goots, 38 with a sub bank, 20 months. Thanks for Taj Bradley. Now he's riding the bus in AAA with a crying, laughing emoji. Thank you for that. Steak, listen, I would like to just let you know, were you listening to Happy Hour last night when I went on my 10-minute sell job of Taj? Oh, God, I can't believe it's like saying that with a straight face is hard. Of Taj Bradley.
All right, I heard some of it, yes.
All right. I really genuinely like that spot. I just want to make it clear. I genuinely like that spot. wasted 40 minutes of our fantasy talk yesterday for Taj. It was 10 minutes. It's on tape. Go. It wasn't fucking 40 minutes talking Taj Bradley. It was not 30 or 40 minutes. You guys are.
I'll be checking the tapes after this, chat.
I'll check the fucking tapes.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will. It was not. It wasn't. It could have been 17.
Could have been 17. That's
Yeah.
an insane amount of time to talk Taj Bradley. Insane. I was giving you 10. 17's crazy.
No, no, it's 10. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to stretch the truth, stretch it to 17 minutes. Don't get out of here with the 30, 40 minutes.
Okay, I will be double checking. I will be double checking.
No, you're not. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You should do other things, okay?
You sound nervous.
I'm not nervous. I didn't talk about Taj Bradley for 30 fucking minutes. I promise. But I really, really genuinely like the spot. And I know there's someone there that was there, that's here now, whether you're in Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You probably heard what I said, and you may have liked it too. Now, I want to apologize if that influenced you to take the bet, because it was an atrocious wager. But what I'm getting at is this. I wasn't doing it to try to have fun. I really wasn't. If I was just taking something to have fun, I probably would have taken the Rays -1.5, every player to get a hit. It felt like Taj was back after 2 really good starts, and the White Sox had never seen him before. Steak, did you watch or follow that game yesterday at all?
Yeah, I got to be honest. I'm a diehard White Sox fan. I'm wearing my White Sox hat, which you haven't commented on yet.
Yeah,
And I
no,
did
I
see you post like that GIF where you were like, Taj isn't going to hit his strikeouts, but it's 4-0 Rays, or the Rays are winning by 100. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and tune in to the top of the second here and just see what happens, because DJ acting like this usually doesn't turn out well. And sure enough, not only did the White Sox score 4 in the top of the second, I think they actually reloaded the bases after that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so they lit up Taj. I was very tuned in for that. And, the White Sox win another series. No big deal. It's just kind of becoming common for them to, grab 2 out of 3 from contenders because they're one of the most underrated teams in baseball. And they'll probably be in the playoffs next year.
Shut up. Okay, so in short, you followed, you paid attention, you were tuned in to the top of the second inning. I don't want to exaggerate like all the fucking numbnuts in here like to exaggerate, saying I talked about Taj for 30 or 40 minutes. I want to, and I don't want to be dramatic. I think it was one of the worst pitching performances I have ever seen, not of a Rays player, not of Taj Bradley, of any pitcher in my entire life. The top of the second inning, I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to be close. I think Taj threw 41 pitches, and some fucking guy I never even heard of hit a 3-run homer. I don't know who these guys are on the White Sox, but their bats have been hot, Yeah. And that was the one concern. The one concern was the White Sox offense has been hot. The bats have been hot. Why would you take a pitcher prop against a hot offense? And you know what? Lesson learned. The outlier to me was it's the White Sox. It's the 6th road game. It's the last game in Tampa. And they've never seen Taj. Dude, every fucking time it was 3-2, the guy would get a hit, an infield single, or Taj would walk him. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. He didn't make it out of the second inning. We had some fucking guy, Englert, come in and get out of it. Somehow, some way, he got 2 strikeouts. But Taj Bradley left the game, not making it past the second inning, throwing 41 pitches in the second inning, and he did not record 1 strikeout. I do want to tell you this because this is kind of funny. This is pouring salt on the wound. You might find it funny, but I bet him over outs. I bet the strikeouts. I bet first 5 under 2.5 team total for the White Sox. What bet have I been betting for pitchers that has been really fun that I have not hit yet?
Is it 3 up, 3 down? Yeah.
It's 3 up, 3 down.
And Taj Bradley did that.
When I was betting Taj Bradley, I said to myself, oh, why don't I go 3 up, 3 down? And you know why I didn't? Because I told myself, I'm trying to be smart. with these Taj Bradley bets and take what makes the most sense. And I said to myself, 3 up, 3 down is not smart because if anything, Taj Bradley has shown he gets in trouble in the first inning. So the one fucking bet I didn't take is the one that would have hit. Taj Bradley 3 up, 3 down.
Can I complain about what I did? So the game I attended, I bet Yandy to hit a home run and the Yerfie. Obviously, they didn't score in the first inning. Rays had 4 runs in the top of the second. Yesterday, Yandy hit a fucking home run and the Yerfie hit. Yeah,
That sucks.
Attending baseball games for me, I never hit bets live ever.
This is just not true. I've probably bet Taj Bradley twice this year. That's it. This is the problem.
Can you bet on the minors?
No,
Can you bet on minor league baseball?
I don't know.
Chat.
Go ahead, fat girls. Go ahead. All my bets are tracked. All of them are tracked. Fat girl, this is the problem. I will take the slander. I will take the criticism, but you cannot be, if you come at me, you cannot be this far off. I don't bet Taj Bradley every other start. Last year, I was betting him successfully for a very long time. I get no credit for telling people when to jump ship. That's fine. Don't need it. Entering minute 8 of Taj Bradley. All right, we're done. Somebody already DM'd me and said Taj over Case first start in AAA.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you have to do that, right?
Thank you, bad guy. Bad guy, honestly, is one of the few people in here that's got some fucking brains. It's what have you done for me lately type of business. Don't care what you did last year. All right. Good thing Pickett paid for Taj. Yeah. Well, I don't even know if that's actually going to add up. Where's me and Snizy's vacation now? I don't even know. I don't know. The fucking stuff you in a janitor closet. Anyway, Steak. So speaking of, you went to the Rays game.
Yep.
And what was your experience? Because I've yet to go to Steinbrenner Field. I've heard some good things, some bad things. And tell us about your trip.
I mean, it's a really fucking tiny place, dude. It does not give MLB ballpark vibes whatsoever. I respect what they did. Like, I understand that this is probably the best case scenario for the Rays playing games in Tampa, but it's tiny. I did a little thing called the Loge Box, and it's at the top, and it's like a club, but it's outdoors. But you get free food and beer and wine.
Mm-hmm.
It was Josh Lau. Is that how you say it? Josh Lau?
I think so. Yeah, I change it up all the time.
Everybody get a bobblehead day? Every player?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know.
What do you think, though?
No.
Well, his mom threw out the first pitch. I tried to buy into that narrative. He had an awful performance. I was sitting right next to the guy who was filming the game. Like, literally, my seat was next to that guy.
I saw that.
And I thought that was interesting seating. But I guess all things factored in, I would have to give Steinbrenner a 6.7 out of 10. It was okay. It was tiny. And I hope there's not, like, what is the plan for the Rays? Not to play there next year, right?
I think what they said they're going to do is fix up and rehab the Trop and try to be at the Trop for the next few years until the new stadium can be built.
It was super fucking nice not having to go to St. Petersburg from the Hard Rock. I'll say that. That was super fucking nice.
Yeah. And so next time idiot, dumb, fuckface moron Greg is up here talking about the attendance, maybe you can tell him from experience that going from Tampa to St. Pete is not fun to do. And that's part of the reason why nobody likes to do it. So you're saying 6.7 out of 10. I would say that that's a really fair score for a minor league ballpark.
Yeah.
What I'm kind of interested in, what it feels like the Rays did is the Rays, it seems like, see, this is the thing. When you play in a small park, when you go to a venue that's small, sometimes the experience can be a little bit better because you're closer, like we've gone to fucking all kinds of venues and you have as well with stadiums and whatnot. Like when it's really big, sometimes that kind of takes away from it. I've heard really bad things about where the Texas Rangers play. I don't know if you haven't been there, have you? Globe Life? Because I know you go to Dallas
No.
often.
Where is that? Oh, that's in Dallas or
Yeah, I think that's in
Arlington.
Dallas. But like sometimes it's cool when you can get there. I like it for bands, like, for example, like if you see a band at a small live venue as opposed to a
Yeah.
big arena. So I was just curious if like seeing a professional baseball game in a tiny park, was there an element of like that being cool, or you can't get around? No, you can't
Not
get
for
around it
me.
being so tiny.
Not for me. Like, to be completely honest, because the most recent game I went to was like a month and a half ago, and it was in Atlanta. You'd be really hard. It would be really hard to explain to like a person who just arrived on Earth yesterday that the Braves and Rays were playing in the same league. That's how different Steinbrenner felt to me, or how tiny
Yeah.
compared to Atlanta's park. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah, you mean the guy who didn't realize he was looking at the Raiders schedule from last year? Yes. Also, again, just to give you all a glimpse, because I like to remind people after. Do you remember who told us that it looked like Greg had the highest IQ out of all three of us?
Yeah, I don't remember who said that, but it's very clearly because of the way he looks.
No. Well, I just said, do you
Stand by
remember who
that.
said that? You said yeah, and then you said no.
Oh no, I don't remember who said it.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, Greg is again, Greg's main responsibility is the newsletter, which will be out tomorrow. And we're doing the NFC North. And he said, I asked him yesterday, I said, because we got to tighten up and finalize, and we're going to preview the NFC North today. We're going to dive in. But I said, confirm that with him. And then we get a text this late last night. He said, NFC West is done. Please enter your bets by tomorrow night. And I said, NFC West? I thought you told us it's the NFC North. He responded, oh, shit. Yes, NFC North. That is what Greg does on a very routine basis. Okay. So anytime something comes out of his mouth, you have to give it, like how Steak does the 5-second delay from reading the chat. You got to give a 5-second delay for Greg to see if he can correct himself. Okay. Just want you guys to understand what we're dealing with here. Is Greg okay? Greg is okay. Yeah, he's just got his like fucking kid has a rash or some bullshit, so he wasn't able to make it last night. Just like newborn baby issues that are going up. CT is a real illness. Yeah, Greg actually contributes as much as the mods in Twitch. Great comment. I don't know what happened to the mods. Batgirl's only responsibility now is to just chirp us once every like 3 weeks. I almost kind of miss it when it was 3 times a stream. I guess maybe there's no NBA or anything like that. People are saying that NBA prop bet changed Fat Girls. What Jalen Williams? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember it because he got chirped by Trent or got unmodded or something. Was it Jalen Williams for sure?
No, I don't remember. But people are saying that really. Listen, I'm getting told my people are telling me, and they're probably right. They're like, hey man, just take a few plays off. Probably what I got to do. Yeah. Did you see my tweet that I also just put out there regarding Justin Fields getting injured?
Did you say like I can't wait for Justin Fields to have the healthiest, most prosperous year of his career, and then it happened, or
no?
Okay,
no.
What'd you do? Something wrong?
Yeah, I didn't think I was doing anything wrong.
Okay, well now
tell me what's wrong with this tweet.
Okay, hold on. Let me zoom in a little bit.
New Jersey's new hero with a picture of Jordan Travis.
Got it.
Do you know what's wrong with that tweet? Don't look at the chat.
Oh, he's also injured? He's retired.
Yeah, you knew that?
Yeah.
Should I have known that?
I guess. Took me a second to remember that he retired, but he retired.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Did you think he was the backup?
I thought he was the third string quarterback.
Okay, and you know who the backup is?
Is it Tyrod still?
Yeah.
No, wait, not still. Tyrod was on the Giants last year, right?
Do you give them a better chance to win with Tyrod than Justin Fields?
I don't think the drop off is as significant, but I certainly think that Justin Fields was going to be a bit more exciting. I think.
Yeah.
Brady Cook and Adrian Martinez back him up. Oh my God, those are horrendous options. GG retired. Might as well lean into the meme capper. Yeah, listen. Like, I'm gonna be wrong. That was my first thought. I was getting a juice. I'm still battling a cold. No big deal. I'm getting a juice. And while I'm waiting in line for juice, you sent me that tweet. Our Jets fan friend sent me that. And my initial thought was, well, they fucking drafted Jordan Travis last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago. Garrett Wilson should actually go up in fantasy now. Really?
I fully agree with that. I don't know how I feel about the outlook on the Jets as a whole, but for Garrett Wilson, I think Tyrod Taylor over Justin Fields is a W.
Yeah. That's unfortunate though. Like, don't you, if you were a Jets fan, wouldn't you kind of be a little excited with Justin Fields in this offense, or like, no, not at all?
As excited as you can be.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So Garrett Wilson, we did a mock draft yesterday. I thought it was kind of interesting to see where some guys went, some guys didn't go. Somebody drafted Caleb Johnson over Jalen Warren. Shout out DC Bets. Breece Hall contract year. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Everybody was really high on Breece Hall last year, saying he was their offensive player of the year. I wonder if people are going to be a year too early on that. And then I've seen some tweets. Everybody is all over Bijan this year as an offensive player of the year. So kind of interesting. You haven't had any fantasy football drafts, have you, Steak?
No.
All right. Well, anyways, good morning, everybody. Sorry, it's a bit of a somber start to the stream with how poorly. I started the day off with a rough tweet and an awful, atrocious wager last night. So Taj Bradley's down to AAA. And what we really didn't even talk about with the Rays, and we don't have to spend any more time on it, but that loss to the White Sox was massive. Massive.
Yeah, you were in here talking about sweep on the Rays, Glaze. So disrespectful. You disrespect the White Sox. That's for fucking absolute sure.
They're not good.
Okay.
Stop with the fucking White Sox are good bit. You can be a fan. That's fine. They're playing really well, though. I will say they're playing really well. Then I don't want to get, yeah. I truly think, and also my buddy was texting me this, Drew, who's on the Rays Glaze. He's so right. You know what he said? Kevin Cash is a gigantic pussy. He never, ever, ever causes a scene or throws a fit. And like, that's fine. You don't have to overdo it. But of course I was dead asleep for this 90 sleep score, by the way, yesterday. And I saw this, but there were really, really bad strike calls that were balls when the Rays were trying to make a comeback on Junior. And it's like, dude, you're going to lose the game. This is a horrendous loss. Get up there and just throw a fit and make a scene. And they didn't do that. They got hosed by the fucking replay booth. So Kevin Cash also, Josh Lau, yesterday he had 2 hits. He's been terrible.
Yeah.
He's like on a 3
so
for
bad.
40.
He looked so bad.
Yeah, he's been really bad. Also, we're missing Brandon Lowe, who's been incredible for our offense in the lineup. Hopefully he can get back soon. But anyways, Josh finally had 2 hits yesterday. And then they took Josh out and put in Christopher Morel. Fat Girls, I'll give you your flowers. You told me this when it happened. Christopher Morel is an atrocious baseball player. He's probably one of the worst in the league. The Guardians stayed hot. Shout out to anybody who bet the Guardians. I didn't have the balls. I thought maybe they would drop one game against those. But anyways, can't wait for the next fantasy mock where Greg drafts a Steelers themed team. Yeah, I need a winner so bad, boys. Tony Tuggs. Hey.
Came to the wrong place, buddy.
Well, yeah, but hey, I'm open. Okay, you find the winner, you fucking throw it over here. Steak, are you finding any success on sides, totals, or in baseball?
Not really. I'm like super close to checking out and diving fully into football. I'm just being honest.
I'm right there with you. I'm not. It's one thing to like take a beating, but I got to find some success. Something has to work. And literally nothing. I cannot get anything to work.
Yeah, well, we're 100+ games into the season, so maybe we should just finish it out like men, and then at least we could say like, "Hey, we actually did bet the whole MLB season."
Oh, I'm not going to throw in the towel completely.
I'm not either. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I'm not going to throw in the towel completely, but I mean, I'll certainly scale back, like absolutely full on half a unit moving forward. But we'll talk about the board a little bit today. Guys, what I really want to spend the most time on is talking NFC North. Okay. See, we got an influx of people in here in Twitch. I'm just going to get some tabs open, but we've done 2 division previews so far. Steak is, we did the AFC West. Steak is out on the Broncos, in on the Chargers. We all kind of like the Chiefs, although the Rice, suspension is concerning, I think. And I'm kind of in on the Raiders, but I still don't know how yet. Steak's out on the Raiders. He's adamant that the Raiders are going to be poo-poo. He's not in on Pete Carroll, not in on the Geno Smith quotes. That's okay. That's okay. I got no beef with that. I'm not riding high with the Raiders. I just kind of think there's something there where they could be a little pesky. The other division we did was the NFC East. So we talked about, you like the Giants this year. Giants are going to be a sleeper team for you, which I was ready to fucking full fade. But I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. You are bringing up some things about the Giants that I do like, specifically that defensive line. And I always respect the team with good trenches. Both would be ideal, obviously. Shout out the Eagles. Commanders, I'm riding high on. I don't think they're gonna. It's a harder schedule. There's potential for a regression for Jaden Daniels. You're not so much out. You're not in on the Commanders, but are you fading the Commanders?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I already said last year and this year, I will not be fading Jaden Daniels. I think he's a magical dude. He's not somebody you should fade.
Yeah.
I have my concerns about regression for everywhere else. I have my concerns about Deebo Samuel. The Terry McLaurin shit seems more and more real as every day passes and they don't sign him. So yeah, I have concerns, but no, I'm not fading fucking Jaden Daniels. I have a question though. Let's just talk. I have two questions. One is completely off topic, so I'll do that second. Number one, they wrote me off. I ain't right back though. Amazing quote, dude. Like I love that quote, and it felt like raw and genuine. What was the quote? The Vegas themed quote about running the table. What was it again?
I didn't come here to roll the dice. I came here to run the table.
Bruh. That sounds like ChatGPT wrote a fucking quote for a quarterback who just signed with a Vegas team. That quote is gat and forced and unoriginal and cheesy and doesn't get me fucking pumped up at all. And you ain't running no fucking table, dude. You're absolutely getting last place in your division with your geriatric fucking coach. There's no shot, dude. There's just no fucking shot. People are buying that quote and saying they like it, like they wrote me off. I am right back though. There's just no fucking shot, dude. That quote sucks.
You got some fucking nerve. You got some nerve.
Yeah, I do.
A couple things I want to push back on what you just said. If Geno Smith wasn't a guy who already came out with a very popular quote that's very similar, I would absolutely agree with you that it could be like a ChatGPT type written quote. He's just a quote guy.
That quote sucks, dude.
Okay, you said it's not original. You've heard that quote before?
You know how you hate sequels? Well, this sequel sucked.
Okay, that's the best way you could have put it. This is Happy Gilmore too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. What the fuck is your beef?
Geno Smith did Cello.
What is your beef with Pete Carroll?
He's old as fuck, and some guys should stay retired. I don't like people who drag it out too long. It's the saddest thing to me about the UFC is that Dana White doesn't pay these dudes enough money. So after they're fucking old and washed, they still have to get their heads bashed in. But the coolest thing about like a UFC fighter to me is when he seems invincible. But then you got to see a guy like, I don't know, Tony Ferguson, for example, lose fucking 10 fights in a row and get his fucking skull bashed in because he needs the money. And I don't know, dude, Pete Carroll should stay home.
Man. Okay. I don't like hiring old coaches. I like evolution and I accept, like, if it were my favorite team and they were to have a head coaching search, I'd want them to get a young, exciting guy. But Pete Carroll for me is the exception. I don't want Mike McCarthy again. I don't want fucking who was like another guy that was getting thrown around for a while.
Ron Rivera.
Yeah, that's a great one. Ron Rivera. I would be livid if my team hired. Who's the other? John Fox. Seems like a nice guy, but like, come on, what are we doing with John Fox? I'd rather take a shot on I hate to say it, I'd rather take a shot on like a Liam Cohen, but I just think Pete Carroll is different. I think he can relate to these, not relate, but I think he's just a cool, smooth guy that the players like to play for. He's not the old, out of touch, annoying, like, oh, back up my day, uphills both ways, toes on the line, Greg Schiano. So anyways, I hope you eat your words. I don't know why I'm like pulling for this team so much. I just like things about them. So I hope you eat your words on that one. I'm kind of with you on staying away from the Broncos. You have the balls to fade them. I respect that. I can't do it. I also think you're going to be wrong about the Chargers. I can't figure out if I'm doubling down or not, but I think that fucking defense is fugazi. And you mentioned it, like, guys can just be good and maybe they're actually good. The Rams had guys who I looked at and we didn't recognize and they were fucking good. But I'm going to be out on the Chargers again this year, but I do like Herbert, obviously. Steak. So if Saban returns, well, go ahead.
Is he returning to college football
I wouldn't want Nick Saban coaching.
for your college football team?
Nope.
I would
He's
take
done.
I would take Nick Saban, but here's how I would answer Tristan's question. Number one, don't ever in your life compare Nick Saban to Pete Carroll. Never in your life. Nick Saban's the best college football coach of all time. And number two, guess what's not happening? Nick Saban's not coming back because he gets it. He's a
I got a
fucking
hot take.
doesn't
I
have
got
to
a what in your opinion, what is he's not coming back because he gets what?
because he doesn't need to. He's rich forever and he's a legend forever. We'll forever be arguing, is Nick Saban the best college football coach of all time? After Kirby Smart wins a few more, he'll be compared to Nick Saban. He'll be the guy you compare people to.
I got the hottest of hot takes on Nick Saban. But as soon as I get your attention, I'll go on.
Was this $4 million in 6 fights, Bart? Or did he make $4 million per fight? Sorry.
That's
Not to
okay.
I just want to know.
Nick Saban was brilliant at
What?
getting that talent.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what
Every
happened.
college program, every coach plays dirty. Every single one of them. Brian Kelly, I'm not saying nobody's fucking clean. Nick Saban was the king of getting those guys paid and getting the most talented players to Alabama. And when you got the guys, it's so easy to be a great head coach. Now, I'm not here to tell you that Nick Saban isn't a great head coach. He is a great head coach. But you know why he's a fucking genius? Because he realized the playing field is even now. Everybody can go out there and play these dudes. So Nick Saban's biggest advantage is gone.
Yeah.
Is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saban was
Sure.
giving everyone
Nick
hell's
Saban
hats.
ain't coming back.
Bro, Nick Saban was giving everyone anything they wanted. There's like reports of Julius Jones leaving his fucking high school practice in like, big, nice fucking fancy cars. But again, everybody does it. Clemson, Jimbo, Texas A&M, everybody. That's not super hot, but I hear you. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't. It kind of depends on the person who's hearing that, because I do think some people they would probably lash out at that take, being like, "What are you talking about? Nick Saban's a great head football coach." If you just talk about X and O coaching, like, is he a great motivator? Like, dude, Nick Saban's a prick. He's a prick. He's an asshole. I think he's an awesome motivator. I really do. I like that. I like tough coaching. But let's be real, bro. You think every fucking teenager, especially the top talent 5-star recruit, wants to come out of high school and then go play for a dickhead like that gets in their face and gets in their grill?
Not when they don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you do if you're getting fucking paid.
Yeah.
So now everybody's getting paid. There's no advantage for Nick Saban. Nick Saban's done. He's out. He saw the writing on the wall, and he's brilliant for that. He ain't coming back. And he's not going to go coach the pros because he already tried that too, and it was a terrible performance with the.
I full-heartedly agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get to
my second question's off topic, but I got to talk about it because I kind of need some advice.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
And then this is bad, dude, because really,
no.
I don't have like an addictive personality, so I'm not going to get addicted or anything, but I really like smoking cigarettes when I'm drinking and I'm gambling. I never do it. Like, I don't do it. Like, if I'm home being a dad and a husband, cigarettes don't even cross my mind. I don't go to the gas station and think like, oh, I could get a pack of cigarettes. Never happens. But if I'm at the casino or I'm fucking at a sports book and I'm gambling and drinking, I like smoking, right? So, wow, fucking Siri's listening to me say all this, kind of awkward. So my buddy is an idiot, and he posted a picture on his story of us smoking cigarettes, me and my boys. Then I get home yesterday, and my wife says, were you smoking cigarettes last night? And I was like, yeah, I was. But, like, I don't have an addictive personality, so I just like to do it when I gamble. But, like, I probably won't smoke another one for 6 months. And led to this whole question about cigarettes. I don't think cigarettes are cool. Like, I'd never want to be known by my daughter as someone who smokes cigarettes or by my family. But I love smoking cigarettes. And so that's like my dilemma where I'm at in life.
We've been friends for a long time. I feel like, and you're younger than me, so this makes sense, but things that I get into or I experience, they happen to you like 2 or 3 years later. You go through exactly what I go through, you know? Bro, it is so difficult to not have a cigarette when you're drinking and or gambling. It's very hard. It just goes. It kind of ties everything in together, and it makes it the not euphoric, but like it's the peak experience. But let me ask you this
Yeah, and then we
specifically.
can't forget, because I don't know what a geek bar is. Do you?
What
You know
who
what a
said
geek bar is?
did you say geek bar?
No, DGen did. DC did. I want to know what it is.
No, I
After
don't know what a geek
you
bar
go
is.
on your rant first, and then we go there.
Okay. Dude, I know your pain. And the reality is I don't have a good answer for you. It was really, really hard. I never walked around and woke up and craved a cigarette. You know, I
Yeah.
always thought like, I actually even told myself, I was like, you know what? One time I want to wake up, I want to have a cup of coffee and a cigarette because that just like, that sounds like fucking European, you know, like I want to do that. I did it and it was not my thing. I don't like the smell and the taste left over, you know, but when I would go out and drink, my first thing, I couldn't wait to start ripping cigarettes. It's really hard to stop. It's hard to
Like that
stop.
time we went to T Squared, and we were there for what? What were we at T Squared for? 12 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, those cig breaks were just saving
Well,
lives.
that's when you first started getting into enjoying
Yeah.
cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
Because when we went to, oh, you know what? I'll tell you right now. So when we went to Circa for my bachelor party, what was that? 2021, I want to say. I think it was 2021. Does that sound right? It wasn't
Yeah.
2020, was it? No. It was 2021. So 4 years ago. That was in my like prime of ripping cigs when I was drinking. I don't even think you were smoking them then.
No, I wasn't.
I was at we were all at the roulette table and I was just ripping cigarettes, drinking, playing roulette. I don't even think you were into it. So now you're facing this dilemma and I have nothing that I can tell you that's going to help. You're going to have to just get through it.
I was also drinking twice as much then. Like, do you remember how many tequila Red Bulls I took to the Dome on that trip?
Yeah, a lot.
It was like 15 a day.
So here's what I'll tell you though. There are things I don't like about cigarettes and you kind of just have to focus on them. I'm kind of with you. I don't feel cool. I like the kick. I like the nicotine kick. Like
So
it
do
makes
I.
I get sleepy. As soon as I start drinking, bro, I got 2.5, 3 hours before I start to like, I get tired. You know, I need the cigarettes to stay awake. And there's a purpose that they serve for me. It's not looking cool. It's not feeling cool. Also, when it's cold outside, I like ripping a warm cigarette. That is kind of a nice feeling. But you don't like the taste. You probably don't like the way your throat feels in the morning the next day. It's like,
Not
yeah,
fun.
it's not fun. You stink. My wife used to tell me, my wife got into a fate. We would both rip cigarettes when we would drink, but like you're taking a shower if you're smoking a cigarette, you're taking a shower before you go to bed. So there'd be times I'd go to the bar and I'd come home. I would walk right into the apartment. I wouldn't even say hi to her. I would go straight in the shower, fucking, shampoo, all that shit, get it all off me. It was gross. And then I would be like, man, I want a cigarette, but like, do I really feel like taking a shower when I get home? You have to kind of try to put like an extra barrier on it, but it's very hard, man. Chill on the cigs. What does this say? Keep running the backwoods. Nicotine Gov saves me at the casino. Yeah, I guess I would try that. I got to tell you though. Yeah, we're not here endorsing cigarettes by any means, but I got to tell you.
All. I'm actually saying it's a problem.
Yeah. I got to tell you, you're just going to have to get through it. It's going to.
Okay, can I give you one more opinion? It's going to maybe offend a few people, ruffle a few feathers.
Oh, geez.
Because someone brought up a geek bar, right? I think vapes are the gaddest thing on earth. I literally have a hard time being friends with grown men who vape. That is as honest as I can be. And I see people who bring vapes to really inappropriate places and they can't help themselves but to smoke them. It's the opposite of what I'm saying about cigarettes, pretty much. Like, vapes are the worst. I think they're the worst. I actually really strongly judge people who vape regularly. I always say to myself, like, one day they're going to stop vaping and they're not going to believe that they were that person who was addicted to a vape. But there's nothing, in my opinion, like, I hate vapes. I absolutely hate vapes. I have a really hard time being around people who are addicted to vapes.
Yes, I'm right there with you. I have 2 friends, actually a couple more friends, but I have 2 friends, and you probably have a few as well. One of them, Max. He's kind of a mutual friend, but he lives in New York, so I spend a lot more time with him. He's my wife's friend's husband, so diehard Knicks fan. I was actually just with him last Friday night. We were having a great conversation. He likes cigs too, so we were ripping cigs. We were talking about movies, talking about the NBA. He loves the Magic this year, talking about all these things, blah 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 blah, ripping cigs. But Max has a problem. Or he had a bigger problem. He's gotten a lot better. Every time we'd go out, the vape was constantly like a ref with a whistle.
A literal addiction.
It was right here. It was in his hand or it was right here in his mouth. Everything he was doing. And I mean, this was a couple years ago. I'm like, bro, you got to stop that. Yeah, I'm so with you. I'm like, that just does not. I'm not trying to say it doesn't look cool, but it's like it's you can't possibly have that much of a problem where you constantly have to rip a vape the entire day. Like that is like you need an intervention. And I hope that somebody tries to at least bring it to your attention. I try to tell them you're gonna have popcorn lungs. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but I'm no saint over here because I'm ripping cigs and drinking and whatnot more times than I should be. But like, do you know what else drives me insane? You said they rip vape in an inappropriate place. This literally just happened. Happened twice to me, actually. We were in an Uber when I was out east. I was in with like 5 people, and the guy in the passenger seat ripped a Cool Mint vape, and it smelled.
Yeah,
and
that's insane.
The Uber driver was like, hey, like no smoking. And one of the other guys tried to play it off. It was like, oh, you just prayed like Kelowna. And I was like, no, we fucking didn't. And I told my friend, I was like, what is wrong with you? You can't go a 10-minute fucking Uber ride without ripping a vape. Snap out of it. You got to be better than that.
Yeah, and also last thing I'll say, and I can say this because I'm 100% positive this person will never listen to this show, but there's a girl that was a VIP manager at the bar we both worked at, and she went to the hospital from vaping. And the doctor told her, you're going to die. If you keep vaping, you'll die. And literally after that, they still wanted to vape.
Yeah. I mean, look, like I get it. Like life is hard. And if you have stress, you have anxiety, everybody deals with it different ways. I like a beer. I like a drink. That's not good. I'm no role model, but I agree with you, dude. There's something about vaping that it's like, you just be able to be like, fucking stop that. Geek Bars pay the bills. That's hilarious. Dusty Bang. Let's fucking go. Dusty 10-unit subs. After Dusty, a nice, we're over here shitting on vapes, which hopefully nobody in the chat gets offensive with, because honestly, if anything, I think that it's a good voice of reason that we would tell this to our friends. We have told this to our friends. I have told this to my friends. When my friend rips out a vape in a place like a fucking Uber at a restaurant, I'm like, dude, have some fucking respect. You know what I mean? I'm getting a corp call, by the way. I might need to take this. You know what? Can we take a quick piss break?
Yeah, do it.
Let me attend this corp call. Dusty, thanks for the subs. I see we got 91 people in here. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. I got to get this corp call for a second. It's a little important and urgent. And we'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks. 1 second. Let me get the music off. All right, we're good. All right, good talk. Good talk, everybody. Let's see, where are we at here? Excuse me while I rip my blueberry watermelon geek bar. That's actually what people call it, huh? Need a new condenser for my vape rig. Greatest melody I've ever heard. -1000. Nick Hennessy, ball. Yep. Stay off the SIGs. Can't go down that road, Steak. I know it's hard.
It's really good advice. I'm not disagreeing with anything you say. Just, I figured this was a safe space to be honest with everyone.
It is. And I'm the type of person too. I've gotten when I would go out and have a cigarette, I couldn't have just one. I had to have like 3, and now I've gotten to the point where if I'm gonna have a cigarette, I tell myself like I'm just having one. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into it a little bit here with the NFC North. So guess I should probably we'll touch on the MLB board too later, chat. And again, thank you to Snowman for talking Big Ten. We did have a space as well. Crutch, DC, who else showed up? I'm so bad at remembering fucking and giving people their flowers. Kyle the Whaler came in. Pranav was in talking Ohio State, Michigan, and whatnot. Do you want to touch on the Big Ten just a little bit before we get in the NFC North? We're going to put everything in our newsletter, but I'm having some pause and some apprehension on Illinois, Steak.
It's because everyone's telling you it's trendy, right?
Not everyone's telling me it's trendy. I'm hearing everybody talk about how much they like them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's giving me Wisconsin vibes when Luke Fickell went there, and I loved Wisconsin. I was going to make it a 3-unit play, and I listened to everybody love Wisconsin. Like, there's always that team. Are you getting nervous at all? Or are you just going to lean into it?
I'm not. I'm done gambling the way like, oh, it's trendy. Everyone likes them, so I'm off. I'm done. But I also don't have that much more to add on the Big Ten. I'm definitely I'm sticking with Illinois.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. We have yapped about the Big Ten a lot. Okay. Moving on from that. Let's go to the NFL. We've got the NFC North. We have the Chicago Bears, which I'm sure people are probably pretty excited to talk about. We obviously have the Detroit Lions, which you and I are pretty high on this year. Your Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown of the division. The Detroit Lions are plus 155. The Green Bay Packers are plus 250. The Minnesota Vikings are plus 270. And the Chicago Bears are 550 to win the division. What team should we start with?
Bears.
Start with the Bears. Okay, let's go to the win totals. I'm on FanDuel right now. You can get the Bears over or under 8.5 wins. Under is minus 160. Over is plus 135 for the Chicago Bears. We know they've got Ben Johnson in at head coach. Let's see here. I'm going to pull up Sharp's book just to reference a few things. I don't know who Declan Doyle is, who their new offensive coordinator. Dennis Allen is their defensive coordinator. Kind of interesting. Dennis Allen, not a terrible defensive guy. Chicago Bears team 5-12 last year, 7-10 the year before that, 3-14 before that. They haven't been good in a very long time, but they've got a lot of reasons to be optimistic. They've got Caleb Williams at quarterback. They drafted Rome Odunze. Looks like Keenan Allen might be gone. They've got Zacharias as a new acquisition on wide receiver. DJ Moore is still there. And I don't know what you guys think about the offensive line, but it does look like they have brand new interior, a new center, Joe Thuney from the Chiefs. And then they still have, looks like Darnell Wright, their right tackle. Colston Loveland is the tight end. And then DeAndre Swift with Roshan Johnson at running back. Their defense looks to be pretty expensive. They're paying a lot for their defense. They have the third most expensive secondary, the fourth most expensive linebacking core, and they have the fourth most expensive defense overall in terms of their cap. They also drafted Luther Burden, if anybody gives a shit. Let me see. Oh, they signed Grady Jarrett, paid him $14 million. Nice. They also, I don't know, Ode Yingbo. Oh, why does that sound familiar? That's the most expensive free agent signing. Dayo Ode Yingbo. Was he from the Colts?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Defense looks pretty good, actually, which is not a surprise. Their defense was really good last year. Colston Loveland snubbed. Was he snubbed? Justin Fields carted off with a toe injury after getting stepped on. That's what happened? Oof. What am I copywriting? I'm not fucking copying anything. Also, VSiN references Warren Sharp's book all the fucking time. Sam Stevens is going off. I stayed off of Sam Stevens, so naturally he would go nuts. Steak, overall, we're gonna walk through this schedule a little bit and see what we think about the Bears. They have a Week 5 bye, which I'm not super crazy about. First 4 games of the schedule: at home against the Vikings, on the road against Detroit, at home against the Cowboys, on the road against the Raiders. You'd have to go 2-2 there. You have to. You could, I guess, you could. I mean, is it realistic they're going to start 0-2 and win the next 2 to go 2-2? Not really. They'll probably win a game that they're an underdog in against the Vikings or the Lions, and then drop
There's
one.
no reason they can't beat the Vikings. I want to be very, very clear. Isn't that game at home and it's JJ McCarthy's first start? That game will be
Yeah.
a pick.
Oh shit! Is it a pick 'em? Well, I guess week one's up.
Two
Let me
teams
see.
with 8.5 win totals. One's at home. With
Yeah, you're right. They're favored. Sorry.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
I guess I shouldn't be either. I was a little surprised because everybody's so fucking high on the Vikings this year. We'll talk about them. Where's your head at with the Bears? Do you have any wagers that you're already thinking about? Because I can't figure out what to do with the Bears and Ben Johnson week 1 or year 1.
I mean, am I insane or on paper does this just look like an amazing fucking situation?
Situation for who?
For the Bears, dude.
Oh, it looks great.
It looks great, dude. I'm trying to find holes. Like I thought Luther Burden was a fucking amazing addition. Colston Loveland. They upgraded the fucking offensive line. The defense honestly looked pretty fucking stacked. And I'm just wondering, like, do they go crazy this year? Do the Bears go crazy this year? Or are they disappointing again like they are every year? That's the thing, man. I'm having a hard time buying in, but I think part of it might actually be because of how much I bought in last year. So I'm like super reluctant. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. I'm fucking with you. That's the thing is I like too much about the Bears.
It's hard. It's hard not to like. I'll tell you right now. I mean, can I simplify this? Is it maybe this is unfair to do, but this is what I think about the Chicago Bears. If Caleb Williams is even in the slightest of being the real deal, this is a 10-7 team.
That's what I think. That's exactly what I think.
Caleb Williams.
No, sorry, but I think Bart said they're still a year away. Like, I understand everyone's young, but I don't think you can be, dude. I just, weirdly enough, I don't think there can be another bad year before shit starts to hit the fan.
So you think, I'm kind of into what Phil's was just saying, you potentially being a year early on the Bears, because my concern, which it's always a concern, as I get older, I start to value the head coaches a little bit more. I was not an Eberflus guy. I'm not saying you were, but that was a dude who should have never been hired. He really never should have been hired. And then who was their fucking offensive coordinator? Was it Shane Waldron? Is that who their offensive coordinator was?
Yeah, somebody said they've had 10 years of bad coaches. But I just want to you can't day one celebrate Ben Johnson yet. He's never been a head coach. We've seen plenty of really good offensive coordinators not be good head coaches. I just want to say I'm not ready to crown Ben Johnson yet.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm excited about Ben Johnson. I mean,
me too.
If you're a Bears fan, like, you have to think there is real potential in 3 years to be a like legitimate contender. Why not?
Yeah.
I don't know why not. I mean, how old? What's DJ Moore's contract situation? You know, is he is he there for a while?
Because he got paid, right? Didn't he get paid?
He probably got paid. It would be wise to pay him. Oh, okay. There you go. DJ long-term fat money. Great. Because you need, you can't, you got to have a vet. And I'm not saying he's like the most veteran fucking guy, but you need someone. You can't just have Caleb Odunze Loveland like running the show and then a bunch of mediocre quarterbacks. I think having DJ Moore is incredibly important. I like that they address the offensive line. I mean, it does kind of sometimes take time for these guys to all mesh and play well together. It's hard to find overnight success with a brand new offensive line, but Ben Johnson's smart. If the offensive line's a weakness, I think that maybe there's a way that he can design this offense to whether it's like quick plays, quick passes. You got to also imagine, the way Ben Johnson used Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, like, he still likes to run the ball.
Sure.
And who are you buying into in the running game? You buying into DeAndre Swift, or are you going to get cute with a guy like Roshan Johnson?
Yeah, I just want to remind everyone as we compare these situations, DeAndre Swift is fucking not Jahmyr Gibbs. He's just simply not. He's fucking DeAndre Swift is the Miles Sanders to the Saquon Barkley. There's a large gap between those two guys. So I just want that to be mentioned. But yeah, man, my other problem is, and we'll talk, I won't fully dive into it, but my theory is that the Lions are such a well-oiled machine and they're going to be so good this year, despite the loss of their two coordinators, that it's hard for me to buy into the Bears feeling that way. Does that make sense? So I think you're going to learn a lot just about how good the fucking Lions are this year. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so hard to lose both your coordinators. We'll see. Because I think if I could pick a team to take away both coordinators from and still find success, the number one team would be the Detroit Lions.
I would agree with you. That's why I'm buying in the Lions. That's why I got them to win the Super Bowl and Dan Campbell to win Coach of the Year. Baffian, first-time chatter, says, do you think the Bears will be good? I think that's kind of what we're saying is we do think the Bears will be good.
I'm having a hard time figuring out how the Bears won't be good, but if anyone can figure it out, it's the Bears.
Well, that's kind of a good segue into the next team. So Matt did say the schedule is fucked. I don't love that they have a week 5 bye. But if you think the Bears are going to be good, that means someone in the division has to disappoint because people are really high on the Vikings. The Packers are going to be tough. The Bears are the odd man out. And so if the odd man out is actually in, then somebody else has to take that person's place, or that team's place. So let's talk about that. But first, let's just run through this schedule real quick. I mean, this gets really, really difficult. Hold on. God damn it. Why the fuck does it do it like this? Give me 1 second. View single page. There we go. Let me see if I can do this. Motherfucking bitch. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm trying to view this.
The Bears schedule?
Yeah. Well, I was going to view it like, nope, that's not working. I was going to view it from this thing, but that's not a good way to do it. All right, I'm just going to run through.
Okay, go ahead.
We talked about the first 2 games, 2-2, let's call it, and then you have a bye. A bye before you go back to Washington. Kind of strange that they're going back to Washington. Didn't they play that crazy ass game in Washington last year?
Yeah, also I think it was week 6.
That's crazy.
Because the Bears were 4-2 going into that game. So no, I mean it's week 7 or 8, but still.
Chicken and broccoli. Surely it won't be the team who overperformed with Sam Darnold and now has to hand off JJ, who never played a snap in the NFL. Yeah, we'll get there. I'm with you. Full of Uber driver secondary. We'll talk about that.
Yep. That's the problem.
What?
That's the problem. The fucking Packers secondary is a huge issue.
Okay, on the road at Washington, you got the Saints at home. This isn't easy. They got fucked here. 3 games in 4 weeks. At the Commanders, at the Ravens, at the Bengals. That's brutal.
Yeah,
so then you come home, you play the Giants. You absolutely should beat the Giants. You go on the road after that and play the Vikings. Then you come home and play the Steelers. Then you're at the Eagles. Good God. So this team plays games, out of conference games, at the Eagles, at the Niners, at the Bengals, at the Ravens, at the Commanders. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really hard schedule.
Yeah, I heard you say Giants, Raiders, Saints pushed in there. It didn't sound like the most insane to me, considering the fact that I think the NFC North has the hardest schedule this year. That didn't sound like the most unbearable to me.
Okay, so yeah, easy games. Cowboys, shout out Primer. Cowboys, Raiders, Saints, Giants, Browns. I guess we can maybe say Steelers. Would you say the Steelers are easy game or no?
I would say in those 6 games, if you don't go 4-2, you're absolutely fucked.
Yeah. Yep. So they also, man, this is so stupid. I hate how they do this. They play the Packers twice in 3 weeks. In between that, you've got the Browns at home, which is, I mean, that's going to be tough. Well, no, you'd probably prefer it that way. You'd rather have an easy game in between that than go to the fucking Niners. Immediately after playing the Packers twice in 3 weeks, they got to go on the road to play the Niners and end the season at home with the Lions. Now, if you are going to end the season with the Lions, you want it to be outside in Chicago. So that's kind of a win. I don't know, man. Like 7-10 does, when you look at the schedule, 7-10 feels very real.
Yeah, I can't fully buy in. I'm excited to watch.
When you look at the roster, 10-7 feels real.
Yeah. When you look at the roster, 10-7 feels very real. It's a great way to put it.
Yeah. What did DC put? Heller Keller in that offense, and she's throwing for 3,500. Yeah, we're still
Talking about the
chirping
Vikings.
against these QBs. So, all right, let's go talk about the Vikings. Let's talk about the Vikings.
No, Packers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Let's talk about the Packers. All right. So basically, where we stand is we want to buy in, but we can't buy in, mainly because of the schedule. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's just well, I guess if that's the division that has the hardest schedule or one of the hardest schedules, then it makes a lot of sense. I can't believe BK had me thinking Thorpe would win. He's so not locked. Yeah, well, I mean, everybody was fucking on Thorpe, so I think you guys were warned of that. What's up, Tailing Dots? How you doing? Good morning, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We're just kind of softly previewing the NFC North here, and then we'll talk baseball to wrap it up. All right, Steak. I told you that the Packers to win the division they have the second best odds at plus 250, just a smidge ahead of the Minnesota Vikings, and then Green Bay win total on FanDuel. You've got 7.5. No, I'm sorry. You've got 9.5. Under is slightly juiced at minus 125. The Packers felt to me like they were a really trendy team last year. I hopped on the Packers 2 years ago. That was my favorite future, over 7.5 wins, 3 units. Took Jordan Love over touchdown passes. Jordan Love year one, we bought into. It was successful. But I thought about fading the Packers last year. I ended up not doing it. I think that I would have lost. I think they went over their win total. I did late in the season start to buy in on them potentially being Super Bowl contenders. That was a shit wager. And everybody kind of was on them as well, and they lost to the Eagles. But coming in now with this season, I mean, what year is it for Matt LaFleur? 6 years. 6 years. Adam Steinovich is the offensive coordinator. Jeff Hafley is the defensive coordinator. No more Joe Barry, thank goodness. I think Hafley is a guy from Boston College. Much improved there schematically. Another team with a week 5 bye. I'll talk about their schedule in a second, but the Packers, they don't really do much in free agency. They didn't add much. They did, however, pay 2 guys. Nate Hobbs, defensive back. I think he came from the Raiders, and Aaron Banks, left guard. Where did Aaron Banks come from? Not the Saints, right?
No.
So looks like they've got a new center in Aaron Banks. You've got Love, you've got Josh Jacobs, you've got Kraft, who's kind of a fun tight end. And then their offensive weapons, which we know they've got like a bunch of wide receiver twos. That's what the joke is on the Green Bay Packers. But they've got Dontavian Wicks, Christian Watson on the bench. You've got Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, and now Matthew Golden for Jordan Love to throw the ball to. Defensively, I don't know. I mean, I want to like Quay Walker. Xavier McKinney was a great acquisition last year at safety from the Giants. That ended up boding really well for them. The secondary is going to be without Jair Alexander. They have Rashawn Gary as defensive end. They also got Van Ness. I believe that was a defensive end they drafted a year or two ago. Does that sound right?
Definitely.
From Iowa. And they also, let's see, they didn't really address defense on the in the draft. So I guess first and foremost, just like overall vibe check on the Green Bay Packers coming into this year. Are you a Matt LaFleur guy? Are you a Jordan Love guy? You're a Vikings fan, so you know the division really well. I started to buy into Matt LaFleur. I give him a lot of credit for the fact that he was able to win football games with Malik Willis at quarterback. But I didn't love what I saw from Jordan Love last year overall. He did get paid, but our guy Cam His Money did mention me last year, or he mentioned to me that last year Jordan Love was injured. He had an ankle injury, he had a groin injury. So if he's healthy, if the weapons are healthy, you might get a much improved Green Bay offense that could help out a defense that might be a little bit weaker.
This is the team I'm the most confused about, because I'll be honest, let's take away like any bias I have as a Vikings fan and just address. So when I was at the draft and they drafted a wide receiver round 1, I was like, wow, that's a fucking statement. A team that literally never does this, never did it for Aaron Rodgers. It was like a running joke when Aaron Rodgers was there. It's like, this team will not draft a wide receiver in the first round, and 3 years removed from Aaron Rodgers, and they draft a wide receiver round 1 when they have Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks. And then it got me thinking, like, do those guys suck? Do all those guys suck? Because it felt like at one point we were arguing like, wow, this is like the most promising young wide receiver core we've ever seen. Like, how do they hit on so many of these guys? Like, Jaden Reed is going to be Debo, and Christian Watson's going to be a fucking superstar, and Romeo Dobbs will be a stud, and even Wicks surprised a bunch of people. And then last year, it felt like they were all fucking horrible or always hurt. I know going into this season, I don't think Christian Watson's playing right away. So it's probably going to be Reed, Golden, and Dobbs.
Mhm.
And I'm just like looking at this Packers roster, and I'm wondering, like, why does this team have a 9.5 win total? Their secondaries kind of suck. Their linebackers are mid. I like the defensive line. I don't have a really strong opinion on the fucking offensive line. I know Josh Jacobs is good. Verdict's still out on Jordan Love after he got paid. And then there's these wide receivers that are just all question marks.
They're favored in 13 games.
I know. Don't you think that's strange? Like, don't you think it's strange looking at the two rosters? Just remove the fact that one organization is the Bears and the other is the Packers. Doesn't the Bears roster look so much better than the Packers on paper?
I would say
it does.
I would say it looks better.
Okay.
Because I think I'm a big Josh Jacobs guy.
Yeah, so am I. Josh Jacobs shits on the Bears running backs, no doubt.
Shits. And like having a running back like Josh Jacobs helps your offense so much. Offensive line, kind of a wash. Defense, clearly it's the Bears, but there's still guys on the Packers defense. Like Nate Hobbs now, they have a respectable cornerback. I've never really been a big Jair Alexander guy. McKinney in the secondary. Again, I want to like Quay Walker, but like sometimes I watch the Packers and like
he's good though. But he's good.
He's good. He can be a dog, but sometimes he's kind of underwhelming. I guess that's kind of how Ravens fans felt about like Patrick Queen, you know, when they let him go. I was like, damn, they let Patrick Queen go. And then you talk to Ravens fans, you're like, this guy was always out of place and blah, 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 whatever. So yeah, like I'm with you. Jordan Love got paid like he proved himself, but I guess he really hasn't yet. Caleb Williams, like how far is the drop off in talent at the quarterback position, you think?
No idea. We don't know
hard to tell, right?
Yeah, we don't know shit about Caleb Williams yet, but I will say this. I think we have to remove the narrative that quarterbacks get paid for proving themselves, because they don't. They get paid for potential. Let's just be honest. Like Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, fucking Jordan Love, like everybody got paid. If you're in the top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL, you get paid.
Yeah.
So it's not a prove yourself and get paid league. It's really not. It's show flashes of greatness or being a 10 to 12 year starting quarterback in the NFL and get paid. Like, it's not crazy that Jordan Love got paid when you look at everyone else that got paid.
Okay. Let's talk about the schedule real quick. So the first 4 games, they start out with two home games. They play the Detroit Lions at home to start the season. Then on Thursday Night Football, they play the Washington Commanders. That's pretty fun. But right off the bat, you get a short week. However, that kind of helps you right after. You get some extra rest. But it's an away game against Cleveland, then an away game against Dallas. I mean, a successful start to the season, then it's a week 5 bye, is 3-1, right?
Yes.
Like let's be real. You're not going to go 4-0. The Packers are not going to beat the Lions and the Commanders. Would you say that's accurate?
I would say that's accurate, yeah.
Then you get the week 5 bye. Home against the Bengals, at the Cardinals, at the Steelers, home against the Panthers. What do we think there, those 4 games?
I mean, again, like, what's a success there? 3-1?
Yes, because I would say playing at Pittsburgh is not easy. I'm sure they'll be a favorite in that game. And the Bengals are going to be tough this year. Like, whatever you think about the Bengals, it's still Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. And we talked about the fucking Packer secondary not being very good. So, yeah, 3-1. So then that puts you at 6-2. Okay. Then you got the Panthers, Eagles, both at home, at the Giants, Vikings. So let's say you're 6-2 and you beat the Panthers at home, 7-2. But the Panthers might not be.
Yeah, but let's just assume they win.
7-2. Let's say Monday Night Football, you lose.
Yeah.
To the Eagles, and 7-3, and then let's say you beat the Giants 8-3. So you're 8-3 going in the second half of your season, which gets tough. We'll talk about in a second. But if you have over 9.5 wins, you need 2 more wins. Here are the teams you need 2 wins over, Steak: Vikings, Lions, Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings.
Oh
So
my God, that's a gauntlet. Holy shit.
in
yeah.
the back half of the season, this is where it gets really, really hard for the Packers. In the back half of the season, the last 7 games, I just want to make sure you guys heard this. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisional games. 2 against the Bears, which is the weakest team in the division, on the road against the Lions, and the Vikings twice. Ending the season on the road against Minnesota. And then
They're
the out of
splitting with the Vikings. You could just chalk that in right now. They go 1 and 1.
okay, so that has them at 9 wins.
Yeah.
Then the out of conference opponents, out of division opponents are, well, they're out of conference too, I guess, at the Broncos in week 15. That's going to be a fucking tough place to play.
Yep.
And then the Ravens at home.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy.
well, we just walked through the schedule, dude. Like there are 10 wins here on the schedule is essentially what we're saying.
Can I just say, you know how you said about the Bears, how it looks like 10-7 when you look at the depth chart, but then 7-10 when you look at the schedule?
You think the opposite
Completely
here?
180 that for the Packers. I can't explain it any better than that. I'm sorry to people who don't understand what I'm saying. Looking at the Packers depth chart, I like their win total under, and looking at their schedule, I like their win total over. And I know that's a strange thing to say.
I don't think that's strange at all. I don't
Okay.
think that's strange at all. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I'm starting to wonder, is that quote that I came up with, is that something that we should put on a graphic?
What's the one about running the table?
Very funny. I'm kind of with you on that. I hate that we agree so much. Well, we disagreed a lot in the other conferences, with the Chargers and the Raiders and whatnot. So I don't want to just sit here.
This is our agreement division for sure. So everybody should be warned. Maybe just fade us.
Yeah. Okay. So you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to ask the chat. I'm curious. We got 2 more teams, by the way. I think tempo and pace is fine. It's 11-17. This is fine how we're doing this, right? It's not like super in depth, but it's also kind of walking through the teams and getting a little familiar with them.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. Chat, remember, we always like feedback, so let us know if
no one turns on DGen fucking board review and says I'm ready for them to be super in depth.
Yeah, that's true. Need a DGen Taj Ladder shirt. Rich A, please stop. Steak check X real quick.
I will right now.
Where are you on the Packers? Over 9.5 wins, under 9.5 wins. Chad, I'm gonna leave that poll up for 3 minutes. Take your time if you're at your office.
Oh my God, did Brent Rooker cost you $10,000, Dusty?
No way.
Looks like Brent Rooker cost him $10,000, but it also looks like he was top 1% of Pickett bettors.
Bro. Dusty, shout out Pickett user. You know we love to hear that.
98 units, you sick fuck. Or did Brent Rooker homer?
Whoa. Can you fucking try to figure out what he sent you? Did he win or not?
I just don't know if Brent Rooker homered yesterday. That would tell me everything. I could look right now.
Make all these podcasts so I can get all info, please and thanks. Yeah, maybe we should do that.
Yeah, you should absolutely do that.
No, Brent Rooker cost me $10,000, but I hit a $5,000 parlay just for 4.
So fucking sick. Congrats. That would have been that's crazy. $25 to win $11,000, and all he needed was Brent Rooker. He hit everything.
Holy shit. Steak. We have a poll running right now. By the way, there's 91 viewers in here. We got 14 votes. Get your fucking finger up and moving.
You guys don't vote, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. We do have 34 people in here on YouTube, though. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the page. And if you're on Twitch, follow the Twitch page. What do you think it is right now? 20 votes. Over or under on the Packers. What do you think it is?
Under 15-5.
17-3.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is. Yeah, things are happening in my brain.
Oh.
Don't say it. You don't even need you.
9.5 is too high. No. Well, I mean, look, like you're going, it's under is minus 125, you know? So if you think it's too high, it's too high. But like Steak said, I think that was very well put. Their schedule says 10-7. The roster says 7-10. Beautifully put. Where did you get that quote? ChatGPT?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I'm going to vote. I'm going to go over 25-9 right now, 25 to the under. Okay. Let's move on to the next team. Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about him. Steak is a Vikings fan, but he's a very, very realistic Vikings fan. Let's just make sure, if you guys didn't already know that, we're not primers when it comes to our teams. But with that said, me just see. Steak. I believe I told you this, and I'm going to tell it one more time for the people in the back in case you guys weren't here. When I drove to Toronto, I listened to a lot of VSiN. Another gifted sub from Dusty. We appreciate you, Dusty, giving out proper patch, a sub bang. Thanks everybody for hanging out, by the way. But I told you I listened to a lot of VSiN. I listened to a lot of NFL talk. There were two teams that people were very, very high on: the Denver Broncos and the Minnesota Vikings. I didn't hear a bad word said about either of those. And listen, for legitimate reasons, okay? It's a great team. It's a rock solid team. It's a good coach. It's a good staff. It's a good organization. You got an awesome defensive coordinator. You got a brilliant coach in KOC, one coach of the year last year. We know what Sam Darnold was capable of doing. I just think it is a big question mark and a huge risk that people aren't really taking in, aren't thinking about as much before they're ready to bet on the Vikings. This is year one of JJ McCarthy off an injury, and it is a lot of expectations. But they are saying that this is a team that can go to the Super Bowl, not win the Super Bowl, but go to the Super Bowl. What's up, Kilo Hotel on YouTube? Nerfy of the night. We'll talk about that in a second. What are you shrugging your shoulders about?
Not win the Super Bowl, but go. If you could fucking go, you can win.
I understand that. I'm just telling you what people are saying. It's like, this is a team that can win the NFC. Okay, how about that? Of course, if you go, you can win. Yeah, sure. Wes Phillips, offensive coordinator, is 3 years in. Same with KOC. Flores, he's been there 2 years. We we saw what the Vikings did with Sam Darnold, 14-3 last year. It was an unfortunate loss to the Rams. Was it? I think they played in Vegas, or then they played in Arizona because of the forest fires. That's why it got a little weird in my brain.
They lost to the Lions last game of the season for the 1 seed, and then lost to the Rams in the wild card.
Dumb question: is JJ eligible for Rookie of the Year or Comeback Player of the Year?
So, Comeback Player of the Year, yes. Rookie of the Year, no. I'm pretty sure, but what's the poll say?
It's a very stupid poll.
Are you a meme capper?
How did you know that?
Just because I had a feeling. You can just tell when you're reading the chat. Is DJen a meme capper? That's gonna be a fucking runaway.
Yeah, I voted no, and it's 15-1.
Yeah, okay. Crazy that I guessed that.
Yeah, real crazy, crazy.
Good to see Snide doing his job. There's over 100 people in here.
It actually is. It actually is. If we were in an office right now, I would be like, "Hey, Snide, listen, you chat my ass, but at least you're doing something." And then I would go over to Fat Girl's office and I would say, "Hey, Fat Girls, are you
the
there?"
problem is giving Fat Girls an office. Fat Girls gets a cubicle.
Fat Girls gets a cubicle. Yeah. No.
21-1 is crazy.
Is that what it is? 21-1? Not one person voted no.
You shouldn't have said that you voted no. That would have been more interesting because then everybody would be like, well, who is it? Who's the one?
Oh, yeah. Revealing my position on this poll is what determined the outcome.
Yeah, Bad Guy would be number 2. Bad Guy's a big DJen fan.
Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if Bad Guy might be like my mom. like because they're so supportive of me, it feels like it might be like a family member or something. Bad Guy, keep up the great work. Okay, we need a balance here in this chat. People are acting like I didn't hit the Marlins highest scoring team 18-1. No big deal. I'm just kidding. No, I am total rat shit, and I'm the biggest mush on Twitter. There's no doubt about it. Cornfields retweeted and said, "Hand over the torch, book it with Trent." He's not wrong. But listen, I'm not having fun. Okay, and I got other people saying like, "Oh, you're doing this for views," and I want to remind you, we'll get a lot more followers and a lot more views if we fucking win some bets.
Yeah, it sucks. It does suck because, like I said, like doing it for views is crazy. Like we're losing real money, and that's the part I need to understand. Like, no, we're not losing bets for views.
No. I just started making some money, and I felt good about. I've been so restrictive and betting responsibly and scaling back on units, make some money, going out there and throwing around 5 units on Taj because I love the spot and losing every single one of them in horrendous fashion. There's no fun. It hurts you. I had, you want me to be honest with you? This doesn't happen very often. I had a nightmare last night.
About
Taj? No, I had a nightmare. This was actually kind of crazy. I had an encounter with a bear.
Oh.
Like a real
sign? You had an encounter with a bear. Keep going.
It was real and it was scary.
Where were you?
I couldn't really tell. It felt like I was in like a neighborhood, and I not like hiking, but I surprisingly encountered a bear, and I tried to run
Because
away. And
so far, you're describing the least scary place to encounter a bear, I think, in a
wouldn't
neighborhood.
I
You
mean,
saw a bear in the suburbs? I was thinking you were going to see it in the woods, in the jungle, something like that, you know?
we just talked
No.
about your favorite team. You didn't contribute one fucking time. How about that? In dreams, bears often symbolize strength, courage, protection, and the need to confront your own inner power, unresolved issues. They can also represent a powerful, perhaps overbearing person in life or a need to retreat and reflect.
Ooh, you
Is
do need to reflect on the Taj Bradley wager.
I
That can
do.
go.
I
Yeah.
do. That's the symbolism from that. Okay. I'm so in on Snide this week. Yeah, Snide's been great. Fat Girl said, "What the fuck do you want him to say?" I mean, we just talked about the Bears. Did Fat Girl say one thing about the Bears other than our year?
No.
Okay.
I mean, Snide stocks up and fucking Fat Girls down. I'm gonna need a little more from Fat Girls this football season. We'll see how it goes.
He's got a month. He's got a month to get right. All right, here we are. We're with the Minnesota Vikings. Let me set the stage for you. So they are at 8.5 wins. The over is -150 on FanDuel.
Yeah.
The division, as I mentioned, is +270. It's right behind the Green Bay Packers. Oh, here come the Skulls. Yep, he's a Falcons fan. Great fucking point, mid-major. Yep, great point. By the way, I was listening to just a few minutes of mid-major space. Great job holding the space for the season-long player prop. Special K was in there too. I gave it a retweet. I couldn't contribute. It was at 8:00 and I went to bed really early that night. My apologies, but good job. Keep up the great work.
Not to glaze, but Kev's good at talking about football. Did good.
You can glaze. Listen, nobody on the fucking internet says a nice thing about
I like
anything.
listening to Kev talk about football, dude.
I do too. Except when he tries to tell me that Michigan's going to reload and be just fine with Sharon Moore, and they were fucking pathetic. All right, that's literally it.
You love that.
Yeah, I wish all these motherfuckers would talk more about football, but maybe we should use our platform to give them a voice, and we're not doing a good enough job of that. So maybe we should do more spaces, where everybody can get up there. So we'll do a better job about that. I'm sure, as much as you guys like listening to us, it probably is like at some point you want a real ball knower in here, like fucking mid-major or snowman or whatnot. Steak knows ball. I know less ball, and then Greg knows absolutely nothing. But anyways, let's get on. So here's what I'm going to tell you about your Vikings, okay? And I know you probably don't need to hear this, but people in the chat do. So you got a Vikings team that is they're favored in 7 games, underdogs in 10. Looks like they signed Javon Hargrave. He's a new addition to the defensive line. They also got Jeffrey Okudah, who was a bit of a letdown from the Lions, but I want to say he made a stint elsewhere before coming to the Vikings. Was it Atlanta? Did he go to the Falcons?
Yeah, that sounds right. We're not going to get to Jeff Okudah. If he works out, he works out, and if he doesn't, no one cares.
Sure. Harrison Smith, Notre Dame legend, still there. You've got Cashman linebacker, who was a very good player. Ivan Pace Jr., Grenard, who was excellent. Byron Murphy Jr., another cornerback. I think he was injured or suspended last year. Does that sound right?
I don't believe so.
Who was the guy that was?
I think he was really good last year.
Oh, okay, he was really good. There was a guy I was excited about that got drafted from like UCF, and then did he commit a crime or something, and he got suspended.
Mike Hughes, right?
I thought there was another guy. No? Okay,
sure.
never mind.
I'll say this, you forgot one thing. Jonathan Allen from the Commanders, really good signing.
Jonathan Allen from the Commanders. I'm not like super high on him, but sure. And Van Ginkel. I like this Ivan Pace Jr. guy. I thought it was crazy when you guys let was it Kendricks go, linebacker, and he's on the Cowboys, and he's stinky poo-poo. Jordan Addison facing suspension. Good to know. Tristan Toledo. Thank you. On the offensive line, looks like they have a new guard, a new center, and Will Fries, a new right guard. But they got Darisaw and O'Neal. I think you would say those are two of the better tackles in football.
Yeah. Darisaw coming off an injury, but still he's a stud.
Dallas Turner year 2 coming. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about this guy. That's who they drafted. Was it from Arkansas or Alabama?
Yep.
Alabama. Yeah. Who was the guy that the Raiders drafted? They got cute with him. He was the Arkansas guy. Do you remember that? His defensive end, he like skyrocketed or something like that. What happened first? Vikings do something in the postseason. Chewy steals steak or DJ's wife. Taj gets called back up for the majors.
Honest answer in order, I guess I would say
Taj
gets called back up to the majors, followed by Chewy stealing our wives, followed by
Yeah. No, the Vikings aren't going to do anything in the playoffs.
I've already asked about Chewy too much.
On the offensive side, Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, TJ Hawkinson's a tight end. I'm so sick of TJ Hawkinson. You've got Aaron Jones And Jordan Mason's a new acquisition who I know Corn and his guys are really high on, I think, this year, or somebody was. They were saying they're going to take over touchdowns or some shit like that. Am I making something up, or does that sound about right?
No, I have the bet. I took the bet.
That's right. Jordan Mason season. That's right. Guy in the cornfield's very high on Jordan Mason this year. Okay. Another team in the NFC North with an early bye. So that's just the theme in this division. Okay. Week 6 bye. You start the season, as we talked about, on the road with the Chicago Bears. You are a plus 1.5 point underdog. Then at home against the Falcons. Then at home against the Bengals. Then you go on the road in Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Then you go on the road to play the Browns before week 6. I have to tell you, Steak, that ain't very friendly for a rookie quarterback.
It's not.
That is not very friendly for a rookie quarterback. You start the year on the road with a divisional opponent. You come back home to play a Falcons team who, I mean, you should win, but it's not going to be easy. We're Penix guys. The Bengals are going to be tough. Joe Burrow is going to come in there in a dome, perfect conditions. I don't know how he fares against the blitz, but then you go and play the Steelers. And look, I mean, I'm not saying the Steelers are a better team than the Vikings, but again, rookie quarterback on the road, back-to-back games in tough environments. Bart, you hear this? You know I'm not a Cleveland Browns guy, neither is Steak, but I'm giving Cleveland credit. It's the dog pound. I still owe him in Major Matt a fucking jersey because Daniel Jones went in there and won the game. But back-to-back games on the road in the AFC North. Not easy. So, Steak, walk me through those 5 games. What do you think the Vikings record is going to be coming out of the gate?
All right. Well, let me talk about the Vikings first, because I am a realistic fan. I think anybody who's listened to me talk about my teams would agree that I'm a realistic fan. But I kind of want to glaze this roster a little bit. The roster's great.
Yeah.
There's so many guys on there who overperformed or are overperforming. Van Ginkel was fucking absolutely amazing last year. That's a great fucking set of linebackers. That's a great defensive line. And it's a pretty fucking solid secondary, albeit Harrison Smith being fucking old. And then you got Justin Jefferson. You grabbed Aaron Jones, who's a little old, a very good backup. You got the fucking quarterback whisperer. Like, you look at the roster and the situation, man, and just like we talked about with the Bears, you look at the Bears and you look at the roster, it makes you love the win total. You look at the fucking Packers and you look at the roster, it makes you think no on the win total. Back to the Vikings. You look at this roster, you got to like over 8.5 wins, regardless of how you feel about J.J. McCarthy, because you look what Kevin O'Connell did with Sam Darnold, and you look what he did with Kirk Cousins, and you think a quarterback who's sat, I know he was injured, who sat on the bench a year in an NFL organization under Kevin O'Connell, year 2. It is year 2. It's not the same exactly as being a rookie. It's really not. He took preseason snaps last year. You'd think that's a pretty good situation for a guy who went through the pressure of winning a national championship. So, yeah, you know, like as a Vikings fan, I love this team. I'm going to be honest with you. Go through the schedule and the win total. Does it make me nervous? Sure, it does. And I'm not betting on the Vikings. I never do. So, like, my opinion on this might be useless, but everything you're going to say makes sense. I agree with exactly what you said about the start of the season. Like, a couple of these are going to be must wins because it's going to get down to it, dude. And I'm pretty sure, like, go through the whole schedule, go through the Vikings' entire schedule, because I think it gets a lot harder than this.
Oh, it is about to get really hard.
Yeah.
But before I did, I kind of just I liked what we were doing with the Packers and the Bears of like, what's the start going to look like? Because the start of the season is really important, as is the end, you know, and a lot of things happen in the middle where we like to overreact and panic and it's over. You know, remember the Bengals were like 3-8 at one point or something like that. And then they rallied off some wins when they needed to. So I'm just curious, like coming out of the gate in these first 5 games at Chicago, home against Falcons, home against the Bengals, at Steelers, at Browns. If you're a Vikings team where people are saying you should be competing for a Super Bowl,
If you're not 3-2, it's a problem.
oh, bro, I was going to say, yeah, like you should go 4-1. I think that is so much easier said than done. And that's why I have a lot of pause, even though the roster, you just glazed them, and rightfully so. They're built to win outside of the most important position in sports. And I'm not going to tell you that I'm out on JJ McCarthy as a pro long-term. I just think coming into this year in particular, like I just think we have to pump the brakes a little bit. So what's your take, Steak? The first 5 weeks of the season before the bye, and then we'll go through the rest of the schedule because it's fucking.
I don't have a strong take except that I think 3-2 would be a success.
Okay.
And I think 2-3 or worse would be a failure.
Humor me. Are you going to beat the Bears in week 1?
I'll go ahead and say yes.
Okay. between the next two home games, the Falcons and the Bengals, you want to
1-1 will be 2-1.
Okay. And then back-to-back road games against the Steelers and the Browns. Maybe lose to
1-1.
Okay, got it. You go to the bye, which is actually a great time to get a bye. I'm not the biggest fan of the early buys. I've said 55 times. Sorry for repeating myself. But remember, they have back-to-back overseas games. I totally forgot about that.
London and Ireland.
Okay, well, what I was going to say, now that I'm thinking about it, I actually love the timing of this bye for a team like the Vikings with a rookie quarterback because you get 5 games under your belt, and 3 of those, no. Oh, you're right. Those, oh my God. You're not going to Pittsburgh or Cleveland. You're playing both of those in international.
Yeah, London and Ireland.
That's a huge win.
Yeah.
You want to play in Pittsburgh? You want the terrible towel in JJ McCarthy's face?
No,
JJ
you're right.
McCarthy,
You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
He is a guy that goes out in the field and meditates before the games. You want the fucking Yinzers out there screaming and shouting this guy's ear? And then in the dog pound, huge win for JJ. Huge win for JJ. Meditation is healthy. I'm not anti-meditation. That's not my point. I need to try and meditate. I'm pro meditation. Absolutely. I'm just saying for the type of guy like JJ to go out in the field and get some Zen in, you're not doing it in Pittsburgh and in Cleveland. Sorry. And you get Cleveland after to be already there a week adjusted. Dude, that is huge. I'm so glad somebody just brought that point up. Your
question. This is a really dumb question, but I don't claim to be a whiz. Snowman will probably know. How far is England and Ireland? Very close, right?
Yeah, probably maybe a 2-hour flight. I don't know. Hour and a half flight.
Okay.
Yeah, they're close. They're in the UK. It's all there.
Okay, I don't hate it. I still say we start 3-2.
1 hour flight. Okay, fine. Fair enough. You come back home. Yeah, cornfields, hang tight. You come back home, you get that bye before you play the Eagles at home. You get the Eagles at home. Here are your next 4 games. Brutal. Eagles at home, at the Chargers on a short week, Thursday night football. Then you turn around and go to Detroit. Then you get the Ravens at home.
Yeah,
that is brutal. So 3-2. Where are you there, Steak? Are you 1-3? Okay.
So then we're 4-5. Keep going.
Then you play the Bears at home, at Green Bay, at Seattle, Commanders at home. 2-2.
Sure. 6-7.
Okay. Then you get Sunday Night Football at Dallas, followed by a game at New York to play the Giants. You come back home to play the Lions and Packers to finish the season. Oof.
8-9 is my final answer for this team.
Wow. Yeah. I think I'm with you. Sam Darnold is your better QB. Yeah, but
that's the best job I can do being an unbiased fan. I love this roster. I fucking hope JJ's a fucking superstar and Kevin O'Connell got his guy and we go 12-5 or 13-4. That's what I hope. My honest answer from going through the schedule and actually talking about it being JJ's first year playing football games is 8-9.
Oh, dude, that's real.
I didn't know JJ had a kid.
I didn't know that either, but it makes so much sense.
I still think of JJ as like a child college student.
Yeah. He seems like the kind of guy that would be wifed up and have a kid already, though. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wasn't he the guy whose dad was smacking his girlfriend's butt at the game?
I don't know about smack, but it was like a wipe.
Is that better?
No. I'm just saying, I don't think
you said I don't know about smack, but it was like a wipe.
Well, I don't think he like smacked.
I thought he was patting it, dude. I thought he was patting it.
He might be right. I thought he took his hand and he went like that.
Damn, I was really thinking it was like a celebration, big touchdown, JJ McCarthy, and he was like, and then he was patting the butt. But now I don't remember.
There you go, a rub. Okay, maybe wipe was the wrong word to use. Everybody's thinking like I'm saying like he's like wiping her ass or something.
Yeah, it was a weird term for sure.
Sorry. Okay, let's dude, I'm with you. You know what I'm gonna go look at right now? I might have a POD, and I apologize to do this, but I'm gonna look
up the video if that's cool with you.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna look up the video of JJ McCarthy's dad.
Yeah, do that. I think I might take the Minnesota Vikings to miss the playoffs.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
He was. You're right, Special K. We don't talk a lot about how that was that's Jaden Milroe, and maybe Bama wasn't all that great, and you were in a dogfight with a team that wasn't all that great, and it was a patty cake playoff. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But
I'm looking at the video. I'm not even listening to what you're saying.
The offense did not play that great throughout the entire game. But we'll go ahead and give him his flowers. That was a ballsy drive. Yeah, 98-yard drive. Yep, they beat Georgia the week prior. Yeah, Carson Beck. Is that you beat, or was it Stetson Bennett? Or was it Carson Beck? How many teams do you think from the North will make the playoffs?
This
I don't
is
know.
kind of a non-factor, dude. There's not a lot going on here.
I told you he wiped her ass.
Yeah.
With his finger. I told you that. You said smack.
He barely did anything.
I understand that. That was almost as bad as when you told me that fucking Jalen Brunson didn't stop and lean into that Pistons guy.
I don't even know if that was Jalen Brunson, but we're not going back to that.
Yeah, we're not. Vikings missed the playoffs. -115 is going to be my play on the Vikings. I'm very sorry, Steak. Nothing personal.
Totally fine.
All right, let's wrap it up and do the Detroit Lions. So Detroit, where you at? You know where Detroit, guys. I took Jared Goff to win the MVP last year. It did not hit. I loved everything about the Detroit Lions. And of course, as we just talked about earlier, I got nervous because everyone liked the Detroit Lions. I did not get involved with the win total. I didn't get involved with win division, nothing else. And we are going to do a lot better job of not wagering like that anymore. Still in the back of my mind. I still take it in a little bit. But as Steak said, he's going to still rock with Illinois. We're not worried about who's on what's on who. I don't know where people stand so much with this Detroit Lions team this year, but nevertheless, as much as I was in on Detroit last year because of Ben Johnson, I'm still rocking with Detroit, even though Ben Johnson's gone. You and I agree with this. You and I align on this. I've been burned before because I took the Philadelphia Eagles to win the Super Bowl 2 years ago, the year that they lost both coordinators. They replaced those coordinators with fucking Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I can't even remember the names of them now that I think about it. It was Brian Johnson, I think, was the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. God, he was so fucking bad. I forget who that was. I want to say they had Matt Patricia come in and ride out the end of the year. They get competent guys in there, Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, and the Eagles win the Super Bowl. I think the Detroit Lions are so well coached and such a good, rock-solid organization that has built this roster with guys who buy in, have bought in from day one. You said it. This is a team that I think can honestly coach itself if they had to. I think they can. There's probably going to be times where not having Ben Johnson is missed and felt. Certainly. I'm not going to act like it's not a loss because it absolutely is a loss. But I just refuse to believe that an offense with Jared Goff, who's an experienced quarterback and still has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to win a championship for the city of Detroit. Left for dead. I thought he was a rental. I think Jared Goff is a fucking dude. And you got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. You got a good offensive line. I know they lost Ragnow, their center. I believe he retired. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. I mean, give me a fucking break. They addressed the defensive line. They got Tyleik Williams from Ohio State in the end of the first round. However, I believe they just suffered a pretty big blow. Somebody got injured on the defensive line and is out for the season. I forget his name. R.I.P. Hulkinator. Yeah. Who was the guy that got hurt? Special K. Hulk. Oh, Hulk Hogan's dead. Oh, I thought it was his. What? Oh, wow. That's sad. Jeez. Ozzy, then Hulk. Okay. Well, we're going to power through. That sucks. I like Hulk Hogan. This is a defense with Marcus Davenport, DJ Reader, Aiden Hutchinson, hopefully going to be back. You've got, who's this new guy on the secondary? DJ Reed, cornerback. Yep, that was their big signing, $16 million. Roy Lopez, they also signed as an interior defensive lineman. Jack Campbell, Anthony Anzalone. I think I said his name right. I hope so. Terry Arnold. What is it?
Alex Anzalone.
Alex. Yep. Terry Arnold. He was a rookie last year, and Brian Branch. And I think it's Corey Joseph. I share a birthday with Hulk extra beer this year. Yeah. Kirby Joseph. Thank you. If the defense can stay healthy, I think they'll be fine without Aaron Glenn. Personally, the guy filling his role is Kelvin Shepard. Not familiar who that is. And John Morton is the new offensive coordinator. Steak. This team is favored in 12 games. And if we're looking at their odds or their win total, the Detroit Lions have a 10.5 win total. The under is -135. We'll talk about why that is in a second. And as I told you, they're favorite at +155 to win the division. This schedule for the Detroit Lions gets rough.
Yeah.
They had a bit of an easier schedule last year. They get a week 8 bye, which I think probably is a little bit more ideal. Kind of middle of the season is where you want that week off. But it's brutal. It's brutal from the start, and it's kind of brutal right in the beginning of the second half. Eases up a little bit to the end, I guess. But let's walk through the first 4 games as we just done with every team. Or actually, do you want to talk about the Lions first?
I fucking love the Lions, and I think a lot of people forget just how bad the defense was injured last year, and that's a massive part of it. It's also a massive part of why they got absolutely lit up by the Commanders in the playoffs. Not saying that the Commanders weren't winning that game. I'm not taking away anything from the Commanders, except that the Detroit Lions had the most injured defense in the NFL, and these guys are back, and they added some guys, and I think the defense is fucking awesome. And I think the Lions were winning a ton of games last year with fucking literal janitors and guys off the street. You heard Dan Campbell say it to Jared Goff in the quarterback show. He said, we're going to be going for it even more on 4th down in this game because I'm starting guys off the street and I'm not going to put them in a position to lose us this game. Like, it's unfair. And I think it was against the Rams. There was like a crazy time where like they could go for it on 4th down or punt, and the Rams would have like 30 seconds left to score, and they went for it and got it and ran the clock out. I don't remember if that was exactly the Rams game, but it was a Lions game where he did that, and we all thought he was insane for doing it. Then you see the reasoning. They're literally starting fucking plumbers, and you realize, okay, it actually kind of makes sense. Packers, thank you, special guest.
Packers, yeah.
I love the Lions. I actually really love the defense. I like Aiden Hutchinson, Defensive Player of the Year. Special K already said it, 7.5 sacks in 5 games. Before he got hurt, he was already the best defensive player in the NFL. And I'm totally fine with a young guy like that coming back from an injury and being fucking dominant. I love the Lions this year if they stay healthy. I don't care about the coordinators that much. I respect what Ben Johnson is. I respect what he brought to Detroit. I just think they're a well-oiled machine, and I respectfully don't give a fuck about Aaron Glenn. And I think you're going to learn a lot about what Aaron Glenn is in New York. I'm sure he's a player's guy. I'm sure the players like him. I don't think he's anything fucking fantastic scheme-wise or coach-wise. I don't think he makes the Jets any better than another guy. And I think a defensive coordinator could come in to the Detroit Lions and be equally, if not more impactful than Aaron Glenn. That's my take. I think I think the Lions could win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Also, one last thing. Sorry, that was a rant, but one last thing. The year that the Lions went to the NFC Championship against San Francisco, I remember thinking like, wow, that was a win of a season. Holy shit. Even though they actually should have won the NFC Championship game against San Francisco and they didn't, it still was like, wow, dude, this fucking organization hasn't won a playoff game in so long, and they just went to the NFC Championship game and they competed. That was a win. And then losing to the fucking Commanders as 10-point favorites, you were like, wow, what a fucking disappointment. Like, that was a disappointment. This team was ready to take the next step, and that was such a disappointing performance. And I think you get both of those out of the way, and there's just a fucking team with Super Bowl expectations that has experienced some disappointment and been there before and now are ready to take the next step in an NFC that I think is very winnable.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Let's walk through. So on offense, still have Jameson Williams, still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, as I talked about. They also have Tim Patrick. Hendon Hooker's the backup quarterback. Looks like they've got David Montgomery still and Jahmyr Gibbs. Somebody said Jahmyr Gibbs Offensive Player of the Year. Anyone? Sure. That was my Offensive Rookie of the Year. He didn't win, but I love everything about Jahmyr Gibbs. Funny out everyone said how bad the Lions defense was for years, and all of a sudden losing their D coordinator is a big deal to everyone. That is really funny. That is really funny, Matt. Good, very, very good point. I liked Aaron Glenn as a culture change. Do I think he's the best defensive coordinator? Not necessarily. Even when the Lions defense was healthy, it was never like, in my opinion, at least, like the juggernaut of a defense. But I still think he's a good hire. He'll be a good head coach, I think, for the Jets. He's a serious individual. So let's walk through the schedule. Again, it's not easy, and that's the problem. I think that the tough schedule parlayed with the losses of the coordinators, Ben Johnson mostly, are going to be reasons people don't want to bet the Lions this year. That's what I think. The Ragnow thing isn't as big of a deal as people are saying. Great player, yes, but he's been teasing the retirement for 3 years, and they've drafted well and Lisa. Yeah, right. And they got somebody. Why does this name look familiar? Ratledge. Why does Ratledge look familiar? Anyways, let's go through the schedule, Steak. So open up the year at Green Bay. I mean, I think the Lions are going to win that game, personally. We
Me
got
too.
all off season, like just the way Dan Campbell is. They take these Packer games so seriously. Never forget when they knocked the Packers out of the playoffs and it was meaningless to their season. You get Green Bay also in a good time of year in September. Then you come back, you play the Bears at home. Then this gets tough. Monday Night Football on the road against the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Turn around, you come home, you play the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
3-1.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you get 3 games. These are not easy before a bye week. You get at Cincinnati, at the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Then you get the Bucks at home Monday Night Football.
That
So
is a rough 3-game stretch.
2-1.
Yeah, but it could be 1-2. Let's just say for the fuck of it, let's say it's 1-2.
Okay, let's say
err
1
on the side of caution since we both love this team so much.
Sure. So 4-3.
Yep.
Then you get a bye week. Then you get the Vikings at home. I apologize, Steak, but I do think they're going to beat the Vikings.
5-3.
5-3. Then they go on the road and they play the Commanders. I will say this. I'm high on the Commanders. I think a team like the Lions are going to be a nightmare for a team like the Commanders. As good as Cliff Kingsbury is designing offense and as creative as they are, I know the Lions without Ben Johnson, but I just think an experienced team like that, I don't know. Dan Quinn versus Dan Campbell head coaching matchup is actually pretty cool.
I'm with you. 6-3.
Yep, 6-3. Then after the Commanders, they go from Washington to Philly on Sunday Night Football. That's 4 primetime games that they're playing to play the Eagles. You want to give them a loss there? 6-4. Then this is where it eases up a little bit. You get 3 straight home games. I hate to say this. I think they're going to win all 3 of them. Home against the Giants, home against the Packers on Thanksgiving, home on Thursday Night Football against the Cowboys.
2-1 because I do think they split with the Packers. That's just my opinion.
Okay. So what does that have them at?
8-5.
8-5.
So we're getting down to it now.
Getting down to it. At the Rams, home against the Steelers, at Minnesota on Christmas, at the Bears. That's how they end the year.
3-1.
Okay.
Puts them at 11-6, and we aired on the side of caution. I want to answer Dig Dat's question too, because I think it was a perfect segue. 11. That's the answer, Dig Dat. Way less than last year. I think it's going to be a really competitive division where all the teams float around 8, 9, 10, and 11 wins.
Yeah, well said. Well said. Man, if we think the Lions win the division and we think the Vikings are 8-9, who do you got in second place? You got the Bears or the Packers?
I need to think about it more, but as of now, I'll go Packers.
Packers. Yeah. Okay. All right. That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
I had a good time. So we do align a lot in this division for sure. We had a lot of disagreements in the NFC East and the AFC West, just putting it out there. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter, by the way. Greg handles it. If there's typos, blame him, not me, even though I do proof it. We're going to get our wagers in there for the division. It'll be the NFC North preview. Steak, you want to take a gander at the MLB real quick and then shut it down?
Yeah, but you start the first game. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Okay. He doesn't want to say that he's got to go take a piss. I'm the only guy that gets shit. When I tell it's okay to pee. It's okay if you got to pee. Fuck these fucking people in chat. Always bitching and moaning. This is sometimes I love this. Sig, moment of silence for Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that one really caught me off guard for a second. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan. That's tough. Yeah, Sig bake. You know what? I could actually. I need to pee. I need to pee. We'll take a moment of silence. Take a moment of silence. No music. No music. Moment of silence for Hulk Hogan. Be right back. Heart attack? What are people saying?
Oh,
3 pea bakes in an hour is diabolical. You know what's diabolical is not acknowledging that we've been on the stream for an hour and 53 fucking minutes.
And we didn't take any, right?
No, I took
One day,
one.
bro. One of the shows I wasn't on, you took an insane amount of piss breaks. It
Well,
was
dude,
crazy.
I don't know what to tell you. I've drank 4 cups of water, like full cups of water.
I've been housing this shit. I'm with you.
I had a green juice. Have you had a large iced coffee too? I've drank a lot of fluids.
Yeah, I've had coffee. I'm with you, dude. I always support your peeing, but there was one where you took so many, I was alarmed, honestly.
Oh, it's because I had the tea. Dude, tea after coffee will get you. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't really have an answer. I've gotten everything you can think of. I've gotten it checked out. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at baseball real quick and then we'll shut it down. I gotta tell you, like the enthusiasm, Sam Stevens running away with it. He's 5-1 to win this. Unfucking believable. I can't believe I didn't fucking take him. Let's talk about the board today. Steak. Cleveland Guardians -115. I want so badly just to lean into the Guardians, but I got to tell you, I know that the Baltimore Orioles are going to win one game. I think it's today.
Okay, but you should just be leaning into the Guardians. That's the issue. Is like you should just be betting the Guardians every day. You said they were going to go on a run, so why aren't you betting that?
Dude, I'm just a fucking idiot.
Okay, because that's what you're supposed to be doing. It's the only thing we found success doing.
Yeah, I said they were going to get hot coming out of the break. They are 6-1, no 5-1, and I just yeah, I don't know. I bet them 3 times in the A series, and then I stopped in the Orioles series because honestly, the Orioles scare me. Like I faded them so much prior, and they live in my head rent free. Royals are heating up. Yeah, we'll talk about that. One last 11 of 13, I think. Yeah. So we didn't take Stott last night after his son was born. Shame. Yep. Clip it. What are we clipping? Charlie Morton's going for the Birds. No, I don't like this one. I don't like this one. I think when I looked at this series, I said they were going to go 3-1 against the Orioles. They're going to lose this game. That is what I think. I'm going to stay off of it. Any bets for you? The total's 8.5.
No.
Okay. Dude, how good are the Blue Jays?
Yeah, how good are the Blue Jays, and are we worried about the Tigers yet?
Yeah.
Just got swept by the Pirates, dude. And they weren't playing good before that.
No. You may have said the Tigers might cool off coming out of the break, and it looks like they are so far. Is it weird they're favored today? Eric Lauer has been awesome. This lefty pitcher for the Blue Jays. He has been awesome. Strikeout line's 4.5 on FanDuel. I'm a little concerned for the Blue Jays stake. Do you think it's weird the Tigers are -120?
I don't think anyone's respecting him or anything like that. I think Reese Olson's been good too. So no, I don't think anything's super weird, but I'll take the Blue Jays. Test our little system again, even though it failed us a few days ago.
Oh, that's right.
Tigers got swept.
A team that gets swept loses the following game. System play. It's 3-3. Some people are saying it's dead. Some people are trying to look glass half full. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I don't know if I have the balls to do it. I just think that's, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when the Pirates were -125 with Skeens. Granted, it was Skeens going against the Tigers, and I was like, man, that just feels like a lot of respect. The Tigers being -125 right now with Reese Olson against Lauer, the way the Blue Jays are playing seems like a lot of respect. But nevertheless, I like that you're doing it. All right, Padres and Cardinals.
I'm texting, so I'm going on owner's block after this, so I'm telling Ryan that we'll raid if he gets started.
Yeah, they should.
And Kevin's boots on ground for Tigers, so maybe we lay off. We'll see.
What's his record when they're in attendance, by the way? Do they fare well or do they fare poorly? Yeah.
Dude.
Let's talk Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray is going against Yu Darvish today. Padres just lost against Miami. Wow, did they go back? They went from Miami to San Diego, no day off, and they're playing baseball. Wow, I wonder if that's if that's a fade spot right there. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're not going to San Diego. This game is in St. Louis. St. Louis is -145. Total is 7.5. The over is -130. You can even find 8.5 on FanDuel. Anything you like in this game?
A lot of respect for the Cardinals, who seemingly get no respect and just lost a series. Was that at Coors or at home? Yeah, they're coming back from Coors. I think that's a system people like to play. I don't play it, but a lot of respect for the Cardinals, honestly.
Yeah, looks like it's pretty split. All just about 50-50 on this with the Cardinals and the Padres. Manny Machado home run. I wonder how he's been doing. 15.5 outs for Sonny Gray. It's -170, but that seems low for a guy like Sonny Gray. Oh, he's off a fucking masterclass.
Disaster class.
Oh, he's off a disaster class. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, nothing's speaking to me right now.
Cardinals are speaking to me a little bit.
Cardinals are?
A little bit, but I'll probably lay off and not be stupid.
Okay. How has Yu Darvish been since he's been back? I think he's been okay.
I feel like it's been bad.
Oh, he's been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can let me know that one. Astros have been pretty hot. The A's just lost yesterday to the Rangers. Rangers look like they might be getting right. They're going to surpass the Rays in the playoff hunt. Astros are minus 124. Let's see who is. This looks low. This looks really low. Jason
It's
Alexander.
going to be the most contrarian play on the board if you give a shit. The Athletics just got swept by the Rangers, and I'm pretty sure the Astros just swept the Diamondbacks. So you got a team coming off a sweep and a team coming off being swept. That and I think Athletics were kind of sharp yesterday and burnt all the contrarians. Just sharing information because I don't know that I'm going to take a side, but already getting kind of fake sharp vibes from the Athletics.
Again.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a bullpen day too. If Jason Alexander is pitching,
is that for the Astros?
Yeah,
give me the Astros, dude.
You like the Astros? Okay. Nick Kurtz home run, Brent Hooker home run. Nick Kurtz hits, runs, RBIs. The double sweep system. Interesting. Mariners and Angels. Angels minus 145. Let's see who's going on the bump for these two teams. Logan Evans. 9.5 total with the Mariners involved seems really high.
Seems like a lot of respect. I know people like Kikuchi, don't get me wrong, but it seems like a lot of respect.
It does. Angels are off a series against the Mets too, so they traveled. I'm not sure what I like here. Let me see the line movement. So best available. Let's see. So this is for Seattle, right? So Seattle. Oh, so money is poured in on the Angels. It opened Seattle plus 110.
I was going to say that kind of makes sense. The opener being shorter is what I mean makes sense.
Yeah. I wonder why Sharps like the Angels. Yeah, but it's only long though post Sharp movement. Why would Sharps like the Angels in this spot? Are the Angels getting hot or something? Or are you know what? Maybe people like Kikuchi.
Yeah.
It's got to be what it is. All right, let's rate Owner's Box. We'll see you over there, Steak. Real quick though, what do you like today? You like the Blue Jays? You like the Cardinals and the Astros?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going to talk about how the Brewers are going to win the World Series? Yeah, I think we will. All right, Steak. We'll see you over at Owner's Box. I'll rate everybody shortly. Or rate them shortly. Good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out. It was fun as always. S-to-O-T-G. Sup, D-Gen. Hope all is well, bro. Likewise. All right. Well, I got to get Corp for a little bit. Got to run out. And then I got a flight tonight going down to Orlando for a couple days. Should be nice. A lot going on. A lot of family shit too. Getting old. Had a green juice today. Had a cup of coffee today. I'm peeing nonstop. I apologize. Yep. Should be fine to stream tomorrow. Coochie with a 9.5 total though. Yeah. Yep. W football stream. Feels good. Again, shout out to Snowman. Snowman, I'll get you up in the DMs a little bit later. Thank you again for coming on Happy Hour last night, talking ball, mid-major. Everybody else that came on the spaces this past week. We'll continue to do it. Subscribe to the newsletter, thedegenerateweekly.com. You can subscribe for free. Thank you, everybody who pays and pledges their support monthly. We really appreciate it. Play the Hulk Hogan theme song on the way out. W Happy Hour. Yeah, I know. Hulk was a good dude. I liked Hulk. Big Hulk fan. That's unfortunate. All right, guys. I'm going to raid Owner's Box. Join the raid. Oh, I am not going to Disney World. I can tell you fucking that much. Owner's Box Sports. Join the raid. Say what's up to everybody. Steak will be shooting the shit with our friendly Canadians. Say what's up to Johnny. And kudos to the Blue Jays. Nothing but respect to the Blue Jays. Yep. Shout out Fat Girls. Just love busting your balls. Snidesy, great job today. Everybody, great job today. Join the raid. We'll check you guys later. Good luck on all your wagers. Peace.